Ever had a real estate deal punch you in the gut after you closed? Yeah, this one hurt. I bought this property to flip, but right after closing, comps in the neighborhood dropped $30,000. Just like that, my expected profit vanished. But instead of taking a loss, I pivoted. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through exactly how I turned a bad flip into a solid long-term rental.
All right, so it smells like piss, but that's fine. We don't mind piss. Piss isn't as bad as you think it is. It's funny how they'll put down new carpet, new vinyl, but not do other things. Doesn't look like the, all right, so there's that. So these cabinets have been painted, and the paint does look shitty. If you're keeping it as a rental, it wouldn't be a big deal. All right, let's see what we got. There we go. The data plate. All right, so on mobiles, this is where the heat comes from. Yeah. Another one of these. So, yeah. Completely new HVAC is what we're looking at. Water heater, 2012. Good thing about this is you can always Google it. But yeah, I would ballpark that 2012. It doesn't look like there's a septic, so if I'm on all city utilities, that's pretty awesome. That's an old fucking unit. (2010). All right, let's have a look in his hair crawl space. Okay, see that? That's dry stack. Can't do that. Okay. Actually, doesn't look that bad. So, surface bonding on the piers. Moisture barrier. It's pretty standard. Gonna have to do some insulation down there. Belly wrap appears to be intact. Well, no. There's a rip there, but one rip isn't really that big of a deal. This actually doesn't look that bad. Stop. Do not try this at home. What's my roof look like? See, the thing about these old houses, or not the old houses, but the houses that were rented out, and the owner does a lot of shitty maintenance, is a lot of times they'll just throw the metal roof over an existing roof, and then the screws will start to back out. And that's the stuff that comes up at the end. Do I see any screws backing out? Let's see what we got here. Now this is a house that used to smell like piss. Now it smells like fresh paint. Now this is vinyl. Agreeable gray. We love agreeable gray. All right, we repaired the cabinets in here. And we did granite. I was gonna salvage the existing countertops, but it was actually almost the same price to put granite in here than it was for mica, or that, whatever that stuff is. Anyway, so these cabinets, a lot of wear and tear on them, but this is being kept as a rental. Why is it being kept as a rental? Because in the last 3 to 6 months, prices have dropped in this area. As you can see that listing across the street, that thing's been listed for a long time. They started at 175 and now have dropped below 150 and it's still sitting. One thing you'll notice about this subdivision is that there's actually single wides mixed in here, which is not common. I would say I haven't seen it before, but it does happen. But the reason why I like the manufacturers, the reason why I like the double wides is they're rentable. So had this been only worked as a flip, I would have been fucked. But since I can rent this, I am not fucked. Therefore, I can unfuck my situation. Vanity, toilet, surround. We had to redo the surround. For some reason, what was here was just like painted wall. So this is new. So still going over. All right, so the paint's not done. Paint is not done. It's almost done, but it's not done. I think this is a satin. I gotta tell him stop using fucking satin. I don't know why he uses satin. It should be flat. What's this gonna rent for? 12, 13. I'm gonna try and get 1,300. See what happens though. Look at this fancy light fixture. It's high class living, baby. Lifestyles of the rich and famous, right here. All right. Main bathroom. This was all broken up. I was really concerned about this, that I thought I was gonna have to replace the tub, but he did a good job fixing this up. So that's the tub, toilet, new vanity, nice and classy, see? This is class, baby. This is luxury living right here. My water heater's back there.
So let's break down the numbers on this flip. So the total spend to renovate this entire flip was $25,844, about 71 cents. Once I realized I wouldn't be able to profit, I decided to keep it as a rental and shaved off about 20% off the budget. So, the $25,000, $25,900 consisted of paint, punch, trash out, installation of the fixtures, switch plates and covers, miscellaneous items, basic carpentry. All that stuff came up to $19,565. I spent $1,500 for granite countertops, $850 to repair but not replace the HVAC, which saved me a lot of money. Now, if I'm going to rent the property out, then it really doesn't make sense to replace an HVAC that's actually functioning. $1,200 in plumbing, $1,200 in materials, which includes, your light fixtures, switch plate covers, plumbing fixtures, all that stuff. $800 in appliances. Now, that's generally cheaper, but for rentals, I went with a used refrigerator, and I had a credit from Home Depot that I was able to use. The contractor, my roof contractor, did me a solid and only charged me $700 to replace the roofing, which includes fixing the screws that were backing out and resealing different sections of the roof. So that's what came up to that $25,815. Now the house is rented at $1,300 and $1,350 per month. $1,350 per month, and I refinanced it at $110,000, and my monthly payment is $800 a month. So that's $550 difference between my monthly mortgage payments and my monthly debt service. That's a good rental. $550 spread at those price points, $1,350 rent, $800 debt service. That's a good deal. So I was able to salvage this one, sort of snatch victory from the jaws of defeat, but and I also added some evergreen income or some cash flow to my rental portfolio. So these skills are necessary in the current real estate environment because we have a lot of stuff that's just sitting on the market. Not all of these flips are going to make money right now. And sometimes that's you have to be able to pivot, which is why I like manufactured houses, because they work as rentals. So any flip that can also work as a rental is substantially less risky than a flip that does not. So subscribe to this channel, subscribe, like this video, comment on this video, share this video. There's going to be more videos like this coming to you, and my book drops this summer, which is going to go into crazy detail on my marketing process, sales process, renovation process, and creative deal structuring. Look out for that coming up.